So, I just watched Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, and I'm here to talk about it. But before that, make sure to like and subscribe. So, let's start off with the negatives first. So, firstly, Godzilla isn't really in the movie much. Honestly, you could take him out and not much would really change. Also, some of the fights with him are just way too short. There's this one fight where he battles a Titan underwater, and the Titan had like an actually really cool design. He looked great. However, the fight barely lasts a minute, and it would have been great if it was longer. A lot of conveniences and dumb moments in the script. Without spoiling it, but there are many moments in which this one specific thing happens to be a specific place, and it works in a specific way to get a specific thing to happen. It's all just very convenient, you know? It's just kind of wrapped with lazy screenwriting. Speaking of lazy screenwriting, that's kind of the whole movie. It's a very bare bones plot. It only exists to give us the fights. But I mean, who really cares? Because that's what you want to see, and the fights are very good. A certain monster makes an appearance. It was great to see them, but they barely did anything. You would cut them out, and the movie barely changes. Scar King was an okay villain. He wasn't the best. The thing about him is that he just looks too skinny. Compared to Kong, Kong looks like you could snap him in half. Also, he just uses one specific tool, and as soon as that thing's gone, he gets like immediately one shot. He just gets destroyed. Without it, he's just an absolute nothing threat. He has no threat without it. The climax feels rushed. As soon as the monsters get out of the Hollow Earth, the movie just ends like very quickly and abruptly. The humans aren't so well written. I mean, we guessed. They do try to give some of them an arc, but when the movie's trying to be emotional, it just kind of like flops in his face because they're kind of a nothing burger, the humans. The movie kind of takes some time to get started, but as soon as they get to Hollow Earth, the movie goes into overdrive and gets going. Monsters feel small. So much of the movie takes place in the Hollow Earth and everything is giant there. You have no sense of scale for them, no buildings to compare them to. Thus, you forget that they're like 300-foot titans. They just kind of look like regular monkeys in the movie. That's about it for the negatives. It's basically the same negatives that every other MonsterVerse movie has had. And in terms of the positives, there are a lot. First of all, the monsters are the stars. This movie has like easily the most monster screen time out of any monster films. There are entire like 20-minute segments of just monsters on screen with no humans and no dialogue. The movie actually pulls these scenes off because of how well and expressive the monsters are. They move with a lot of life, and their facial expressions are very well done. Shimo's a very cool monster. I can't really say much about her without getting spoiler territory, but yeah, if you're hoping to see her in the movie, she's very cool. She won't disappoint. Godzilla feels awesome, even though he's not in much of the movie and doesn't do much. When he's on screen, he feels so powerful, and design looks great. Kong is the best he's ever been. He gets an actually well-written arc. He's interesting and expressive and looks great. He's a main character too. This brings to the point the movie isn't really Godzilla X Kong, but more so Kong featuring Godzilla. So if you're looking into this as more of a 50-50 Godzilla film and you want to see Godzilla, just be aware he's not in it much. Which isn't inherently a bad thing because Kong gets a lot of time to shine, and he only had one film in the MonsterVerse for Skull Island back in 2017. So yeah, it's kind of his time to get his own star showing. The fights are like some of the best in the franchise. The monsters use their attacks in very creative ways. It's just so creative, the fights. They look so cool. They're just amazing. They're monster fights. They look great. What did you expect? The entire movie just looks great too. The colors pop and the CGI looks as good as always. Despite having the lowest budget in the MonsterVerse, you can't really see it. Only in some scenes with the humans where the green scene is just blatant. The movie employs like really creative camera work in some scenes where you can like almost feel the gravity of the Hollow Earth. The stuff with Gia was cool. There's a lot of like interesting lore and world building they do with her, so it was nice to see. Kong got a new sidekick, Zuko, who, by the way, do they even say his name in the movie? I don't think so. They did a great job characterizing him, and a lot of great moments with him. The monsters are well designed. They all look great, obviously. All the actors are having fun and play their roles very well. Overall, this movie is exactly what you want in a MonsterVerse film. Great action, great visuals, and monsters are drinking it out. In conclusion, if you're looking for a well-written, serious movie that uses the monsters as a piece of allegory, don't watch this movie, you'll hate it. However, if you're a monster fan who wants to see those monsters, and a lot of them, with great fights, this is the perfect movie for you. Overall, I'm gonna give Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire a 7 out of 10. Bonus section. Now, where would this movie rank in my Monsterverse tier list? It would go right behind King of the Monsters in A tier. The movie is great, but King of the Monsters has slightly better action, slightly better human characters, and a better villain. So overall, I enjoy this movie more than Godzilla of 2014 and Kong Skull Island, but a little less than King of the Monsters. Thanks for watching, and what do you guys think of the movie?